Yeah,
if you look at the curvature chart, that is it. That is it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, buddy, haven't had a proper cuddle from you.
What are you doing? Glad I got a jacket this time.
Yeah, you're a bit warmer today.
It froze that day, man.
Yeah. You've had a few good chats.
There's a few. I realised that the same thing was happening that happened in Leicester, where I was just going around in circles with someone.
Yeah.
You know, my time's too valuable.
That's right.
Cut it now and
That's right.
go for someone else.
Yeah. It's a bit quiet here today. What's going on? It's we got all the crowds down there. Why isn't Dave here, leading them this way with his bravado? We need him
over there, like preaching and talking.
Yeah, cheers, John. Yeah, back again. Sorry.
Where's Dave down?
He's down there. He's having a wander. Yeah, I don't know why my YouTube app froze, but we're up and running again. So fingers crossed.
Lovely. When the police came over, they said that we were a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right.
Carry on coming in.
Yeah.
Everyone looks like frozen. It's not as good. My feet are numb.
Was that the Guardian? Was it? That is the Guardian.
Anywhere though. Right. Anywhere they'll be.
Come back up this way.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah.
I was very conscious of not saying we, everybody.
Yeah, it's difficult that.
I think this, I think that.
Yeah.
And I told them, listen, no one I've ever spoken to in real life has ever told me this. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Can you please put a little disclaimer in there? Because these people don't look like this.
Yeah.
Got a package.
Oh, hello.
It's top secret, guys.
Got a present. Yeah.
I can't tell you what it is. I'm not live streaming because I can see you are.
Yeah.
Mine's crap.
Yeah.
So I just thought.
No, that's okay. I'll shadow you.
How's it been today?
I've had a few little talks and that. It's you know what, Swindon was better. Was it Oxford was better? Cambridge was better. I always expect Speaker's Corner to be, you know, the best one. Which one? Yes. We've just had a brief talk. You know, like
And this is what I was saying to the media. I was saying people from the street have come out individually. You know?
Yeah.
I said to them, I can't force people to do this. All you can do is extend an offer, an invitation to say, we would love you to come out here.
Yeah.
Go for the open arms. But what you can't do is hassle someone to come out onto the street. It's either for them or not. But I do feel that it's important to not only just have this situation how we do activism, but to meet come out and meet your fellow globe deniers who know the same truth as you do and have a non-Monday conversation. For me, it's not just about oxygen. Coming here and speaking to people like yourself, I can go home with a tank full and go, right, I can get through this next bit of mundane crap. If I can just get to the next bit, I can speak to people like yourself.
I think this may not be the best venue. I would think maybe somewhere like Square or something like that.
Well, we did Leicester Square and we had an amazing time at Leicester Square. You know, like it was fantastic. But you're quite right, because a lot of the people here, they want to kind of debate and argue you. When we're trying to have a civil talk and not an argument sort of thing. They're scoring points here. Yeah.
But at the same time, the people are more, they don't jump down your throat as well.
No.
Like they do in the town centre.
No. Yeah, that's right.
The thing is, in the town centre, they're going to Marks and Spencer's to go and get their dinner, aren't they?
Yeah. That's right.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Here, people come here to listen to something different. They've come here
Yeah.
to see an alternative.
Yeah.
I haven't read a newspaper for 15 years. Threw my television away when I gave it to my son 10 years ago.
Yeah. Hi, Brian. Yeah, Roxanne's been interviewed by The Guardian at the moment. So they're going to put the microphone on her. Hiya, Chris. Chris, can you say something on Harry's channel, because we tried to make you a moderator, give you a spanner, and we couldn't find you anywhere, Chris. I spent ages looking for you. You know, you have to, if you say something, and then remember the time when you said it, so that we can try and find you, and then we can add you as a moderator. Right. So yeah, it's interesting here. We've got the Guardian here.
We've got a walking Union Jack here.
Sorry?
A walking Union Jack.
Oh, look at this guy here. Look at this guy.
Brilliant.
He's in the John Bull family, and John Bull. John Bull, something like that.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
So he wouldn't be allowed near Buckingham Palace.
Really? Probably.
Can't show any flags. Can't show the Union Jack by Buckingham Palace.
Oh, right. I just seen him go down into the crowd, but yeah, I haven't seen him since. Yeah. Well, in that case, since you come here, would you like a leaflet?
Not Dave.
Okay.
Well, there we go.
What's that? Go on.
So why is it when you look up at night
Okay.
and you see every other planet around?
We're not a planet.
We're not a planet.
We're not a planet.
What are we? An imaginary
We live on a plane, a flat plane.
flat plane.
Yeah, we're not a planet. Only if you believe in the deception of NASA that you would believe that you're on a planet. It would just be a belief. It would never be first-hand knowledge. It would just be a belief.
Yeah, well.
You can easily discover that you're on a plane just by land that you should be able to see. When you can
So why
see,
did the curve? When you go, why did the curve there?
does it?
There is no curve.
That's it.
There's no curve.
But where have you
So
seen
when
the
they-
curve?
when-
Sorry.
Why do the satellites travel round
Okay.
planet?
Which satellites?
The ones that give us all these wonderful cameras.
Have you looked to see any images, photographs of satellites in
I've
space?
seen them myself.
You-
The space station
you
in
can-
Cornwall, you can see it fly past.
So you can see 130 miles up
You can
with your
see
eyes,
It. Yes, you can see it.
and you can make out exactly what it is.
No, you can't make out exactly what it is.
So you
With the
see
telescope
something.
You can.
So
I'll
I'll accept that you can see something go across the skies, but we don't know that there's how big that is and if there's people
So
inside
why's the
that.
moon round?
Sorry.
Why's the moon round?
Well, I accept it is round. Would you like a leaflet there? I
So
accept.
why would Earth be the only planet that is not round?
I don't know. You're asking questions that I couldn't possibly answer ever.
Because it's round. That's why
Is
the
it?
Earth is round.
Okay. Have you heard of spherical trigonometry?
I've heard of trigonometry, but spherical
Well,
trigonometry.
Pythagorean's theorem, spherical trigonometry. For every 8 inches, for every mile, there's an 8-inch per square drop for every mile. That there is Blackpool on the promenade at 65 miles. There should be a 2,500 feet, should be hidden below the curvature. But you can clearly see the Isle of Man. That was in the Blackpool Gazette. The highest mountain is 2,000 feet. You've got Dover to Calais. You can see what's it?
21 miles over.
24.8 miles. You can see the White Cliffs.
You're a height up there.
Well, there you go. There's the height that they were at, and that elevation's been taken into consideration. And yet you can still see the White Cliffs of Dover. And you're not meant to. It's meant to be 300 feet. It should be hidden.
Top and bottom.
Sorry.
Oh, we've got 2 poles, top and bottom.
But mainstream science,
and south pole.
mainstream science is telling you that, but you can't evidence that. That is just your belief. It's a belief on what they've told you. It's like if there was a north and south, top to bottom, and let's say I'm in Australia and I've got my compass, I'd have my compass and I would say where's north, and which direction would I point to north? Well, the only obvious direction that I could possibly point to north would be through the feet, through the floor, because that's where north would be. So a compass can only work on a flat. if that's
because it's a round planet.
if that's the case, then how do aeroplanes go round? When they ascend, they fly level, they descend. If they were flying level all the time, they would surely fly into
Because
space.
they're not flying level, they're flying the same distance from the planet.
But aeroplanes don't allow for the curvature. They don't dip their nose all the time.
They don't have to.
They don't have to dip their nose.
No, they can go down with the nose up. They can go up with the nose down.
But there is a famous physics lecturer, Walter Lewin, and he says that all gyroscopes are that although they're rigid in space, they're not affected.
Why is nobody falling off when they go travel? Why have people gone round and come back to the same place they start?
Shall I stick to that point first? He says that gyroscopes are not affected by gravity, like you just mentioned there. So you can check that video out.
I'm so sorry, Joe. Actually, have to borrow you.
You can. I'll have to leave you alone for a second. Well, I urge you to check it out. We can't change your opinion in 2 minutes. What we can do is hope that you could check it out. And there's a video, and there's a website there to check out and watch some videos.
I've got some brains.
Well, but yeah, is it?
Is it working?
Well, that's right. I mean, like you've got some brains, but you're not checking the information out. Is that intelligent?
Travel in a straight line.
Is it intelligent?
Travel in a straight line.
Harry and Jason filmed in the other towns. Dave is like for speaking at an elevated voice.
Okay.
He doesn't want to do it here, he wants to do it in the crowd.
Oh.
So they want to film him doing that as well.
Okay.
We've got coming over there.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll need a few. As long as these guys will stay here, we'll need that. You know. Let's do that. Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll just watch.
All right, but we'll still need a few guys to stay here. Or we've got banners and all sorts, haven't we? Where have you been? You disappeared. I was looking for you.
Oh, I was enough action here. Just going around.
I see. Oh, I got you. All right. You're quite right. Sorry?
Is that
Who? Which one?
along here?
Oh, I don't think so. Yeah.
Are you
In the symmetry of the rocks or whatever.
sorry, I thought people you are.
Did you get a leaflet? Did they give you one? Oh, you got your one. Excellent. Yeah, as I was saying to that gentleman, we could never convince someone in 5 minutes. All we can do is just hopefully they'll watch some videos on there. So you're open-minded too, but you're just seeing it completely closed. You know.
A YouTube card? Go around and speak to people in the public?
Right. Are we ready? Okay. Harry, Ruben. Back in a second. Can you just hold the fort for 2 seconds? So we're just having a. We're just going to get amongst the crowd. The Guardian want. Yes.
Okay, guys, I'm holding Dave Manning's phone. Okay, so Dave, I'm filming you just now.
So guys, we're just going to put a microphone on Dave Mannell.
Over 300 people watching him. How many people are watching you?
Yeah, there's a few people there. Not a lot.
So between us two, we've got nearly 80, 90.
Oh, that's.
We've got 400 altogether now.
All right. Okay.
We've got about 3.
Yeah, I had to restart.
Oh.
I had to restart mine.
Hi, listen.
Screen.
Yeah, my screen froze and I had to
Sorry if
restart.
it's shaking a little bit. My hands are a little bit cold. Dave's just getting mic'd up. I'm just going to pan back a little bit. My live feed. I don't want to just kind of assume that I can just touch it.
He's open to that. So this is interesting.
We are all one family.
We are.
Okay.
Okay. Do your stuff. So we're going to have a little walk in the lion's den, and Dave's going to have a little talk. I'm not sure what he's about to say. Nothing planned. It's just they've asked for a sound bite within the lion's den. So this is a new one on all of us. This one. There you go. Right in the centre. So this is Dave Mantle, and we've got the Guardian there.
This seems like a nice statue.
Friends of London! Friends of Speaker's Corner! I'm here today to tell you that your government is keeping you divided. Your government is taxing you and charging you for the privilege to live here. Your government is sponsoring the very religion that is keeping us divided. My friends and I are here today to tell you that for decades now, the edifice of the BBC, the edifice of the NHS, and the edifice of your religious institutions and academic institutions have been designed specifically to separate you from the truth of what and who you are. All religions require of you to subject yourself to a higher authority above you. All governments require of you to subject yourself to a higher authority above you. This is the case. All religions, all governments are enfranchised. And they have been working hand in hand to keep us small, to keep us divided, and to keep us
Who will save us?
That fear they use to get you to vote for them. Because they tell you that they are going to protect you while at the same time funding the criminals that are coming to hurt you. Are you aware that in 1912, a place called Jekyll Island, the bankers of the world conspired to create the Federal Reserve? The Federal Reserve, like the Bank of England, is a privately owned organisation, privately owned organisation designed to rob you of your wealth. We all know that interest charges are far extreme than the cost of delivering you that money. We know that properties are far too expensive for anybody to own in this day and age because your government will not allow the building of sufficient property. Your government will enable the banking system to charge you the sorts of interest on money that you borrowed from yourself. Once you learn about the scam of the legal fiction, which is the name they send with the capital letters once you register the birth of your child, which I have done, you realize that you have subjected yourself and given away some control of your own child to a corporation.
That we see in society.
In the early 1900s, the pharmaceutical industry combined with the petrochemical industry to push cannabis out, to push natural medicines out. But the fact is that in this country today, the United Kingdom is the largest exporter of medical cannabis in the world. And yet 10 days ago, they incarcerated me for growing just 5 little plants in my garden for my own personal medical needs. 95 tons is grown every year by this government and sold around the world. And from the beginning of November in 2018, just a few days hence, the drug dealers known as the pharmaceutical industry in this country and their drug dealing doctors will be allowed to prescribe cannabis products while still incarcerating an innocent, good human being like myself. There's far more that you need to understand because your biome, the entire environment that you live in, has been poisoned systematically. The water is very poisonous. You should be distilling your own water. The foods we all know are loaded with toxins, loaded with chemicals, loaded with artificial sweeteners and other things that cause cancers. The advice that you get given by your government that this sunshine is bad for you and causes cancer, absolute poppycock. The sun is your friend. All energy, all life requires the sun to grow. Don't hide your children from the sunshine. Don't wear the sunglasses. Your eyes are the window to your soul. If you do not sungaze every 2 days, you will not be nourishing your soul in the way that the sun is designed to do for you. You need to realize that not only is your water poison, but your foods are poison too. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Lidl, all of these companies are part of a globalist elite that have not got your good interests at heart. They have got their own personal profit interests at heart. So I'm asking you to take stock. Stop watching the Netflix. Stop absorbing the television, which is so bad for the brain. Stop taking your idea of reality from NASA, from Disneyland, from some singer, let's say, I don't know, tell me a singer, Britney Spears. Stop taking your idea of what a reality is from a footballer, from a cookery show, and from pornography, wall-to-wall pornography. No, you need to kind of realize what you are and who you are. Now, why am I standing here? I'm a 50-year-old man. I could easily be sitting at home watching the Formula One or some other brainless, mindless activity. But 3 years ago, at the age of 47, a published author as I am, who thought he knew what the world was about, I realized that 9/11, September 11 attacks in New York, the Twin Towers came down in 11 seconds. Impossible, impossible in the real world. But in the fantasy world of the BBC, very possible. And I used to believe in the BBC. I used to believe in the documentary channels. Until I found out that a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. A funny thing happened on the way to the moon. This is a documentary that if you watch this documentary, my fellow brothers and sisters, you will realize that the moon landings were absolutely fake. Absolutely fake. Not only were they fake, we do not have the technology to go to the moon. And guess what else? Guess what else? I used to believe, like a religious belief, that rocks could float in the sky on a thing called time-space, right? Now, time and space are two man-made ideas. There is no such thing as time. We only have this moment. And space is just space. Now, when I throw a rock into space, it comes back down. So it turns out that the moon cannot be a rock in space unless you believe in the religious ideology called gravity, relativity, and spiritual relativity, which would have you think that no matter where you go on this globe Earth, you are always on the top, and everybody else is somehow beneath you. Think about that, my friends. How is that possible? How is it possible that when we've never seen water curving, we've never seen the surface of water bending other than perhaps we think we see it in the distance, that a ship could leave my harbour and in 5 miles be going over the crest of the ocean, and then when I take a powerful telescope, I look at that ship and I find that it's resolved once more. So I found that 3 years ago, there is no curvature on this Earth. It cannot be measured. There is no measurement, there is no scientific experiment that shows that Earth is spinning. It turns out, my friends, there's all these religious people here squabbling with each other, fighting over this nuance of their religion, this interpretation of that religion. Yeah, that's all you. Sorry, brother. That's all you hear here. That is all you hear here. But what I'll tell you, actually, my friends, is that the largest belief system in the world today is not Islam. It is not Catholicism or Christianity. No, my friends. It is called scientism. Scientism is the belief that if a thing gets large enough, it will start to attract water to the underside, and that beings will be able to walk underneath that. I used to believe in Lawrence Krauss. I used to believe in Neil deGrasse Tyson and that Brian Koch. I used to believe in. But these are theoretical physicists. I'm talking to scientists. I can measure. That's all I'm interested in. If you tell me that you believe something, I tell you that's a religion. That's a religious belief. And the biggest religion today is science. The biggest religion today is gravity. The biggest religion today is spinning balls Out in space. There are no spinning balls in space. Balls in space come down. Play a game of football. Eventually that ball comes down. Shoot a bullet into the sky. Eventually that bullet's coming down. No need to hunt. One up. One down. We drilled 8 miles into the earth, that's all we know. So we send the balloon up to 20 miles with a camera. We see a flat, stationary, immovable plane.
That is that we
I'm telling you, friends. The entire education system is corrupted. Not by the people teaching it. They don't know they've been corrupted. They were 78 students. We went ahead and became the professor. We went ahead and taught the net round of teaching. All I'm saying to you, my friends, is you cannot trust the things that you know. Go back and look at the things from a flat earth perspective. You will realize that not only have you been lied to about every part of who and what you are, but that quite possibly you might well be the center of creation. That you might well be a universe all by yourself. And that you might well be the uncapped pyramid, the capstone of the pyramid, the very sovereign that we give away to our Queen, to our Prime Minister, to our President. This sovereignty I'm asking you to take back. But this sovereignty you will never take back while you think you live on a spinning ball. Spinning balls do not hold water. Spinning balls do not hold human beings and rivers. The only thing that works in the real world is when things are flat and level, and water will run down a hill, and it will get to a water level, it will get to a sea level, and it will get to an ocean level, and every one of those levels on this plane will be parallel to the other levels on this plane. I'm telling you now that you are perhaps the creator here. Have an experience of yourself, but that experience has been totally wrong. Before your grandparents were born, your experience had been produced. Your trajectory had already been predicted. Your enslavement was already well planned. Now we have the internet age, the age of information. And I'm saying to you, with that information, I have empowered myself such that I can tell you that you are as powerful as the Queen.
Amen.
Each of you is another being on this earth.
everlasting life.
Any division in your mind has
Life
been
to
created
your
by the
soul.
system that would rise
Life
up
to
for each
your
other
spirit.
and came together as one.
Jesus said, I am the bread,
Human race.
the bread of
I'm
life.
asking you to
Oh
go
my
back.
dear friends,
No
don't
religion
you
here.
see
There's no religion
how
in our
universal
system.
bread
I'm
is?
not telling you a religion. I am not telling you a
The
government.
rich
And
take
I'm
bread.
not telling you to go and
The
teach your
poor
government.
take
I'm
bread.
telling you to
The
know
young
thyself.
take
Give me one, please.
The
Sorry.
old
Know
take bread.
thyself.
Jesus
Once
is
you know thyself,
universal.
there will be no one that can tell you
Bread
who
spans all culture.
and no one
Go
that
to
can subjugate you
every
and force you to pay unnecessary
Yes,
taxes,
right.
force you to pay
And
taxes,
this
force you to behave
exemplifies
yourself,
the
force you to eat
universality
shit
of his Jesus.
and think like shit. So I'm
Come on,
asking
people are taking leaflets
Bread is something that you can
left, right, and centre. Red
It's
pill.
something that you can take for lunch. It's something that you can have.
Start again. Go look
Jesus
at the man in the mirror.
Christ.
Ask yourself if you can do
He's
any better.
able
And start again. You have to turn all the pieces of the chessboard.
Oh my dear
Look
friend,
into it again. You have to
so many people are in search of peace. So
Well
many people
done,
are-
Dave. I'd clap if I could, but I'm holding the phone.
So many people are in search of
Murdered it. Get him some water.
my friends. We are shocked
How was that?
by this
I thought let's get an opportunity and get some leaflets out.
It's inspirational.
There you go.
And somebody has to
The amount of random people that were like, I agree with him, I agree with him.
Yeah,
Yes.
And there you go.
Very, very captivating. Very captivating indeed.
Yeah, this is. I know we don't shout a lot in where we have our discussions, but this is Speaker's Corner. I mean, this is the place where you shout your message. You know, this is what Speaker's Corner is all about, and you have to shout as loud as possible to be heard. Cold. Oh, it's quite good, wasn't it? Did you like that? Yeah, brilliant. Right, let's start. Let's walk back. So even the Guardian, I think they like that one. So did you like that? Was that good? He really is. He's special kind of soul. There's some videos on the YouTube channel, the Cambridge and Oxford.
Yeah.
Need to see him in action on that.
Yeah, well, he sort of spoke a lot about briefly, but about that. So
yeah, because I mean, basically, he'll start off just to bring the crowds in, and then he'll talk about our subject. It's an opener. Yeah. It is, yeah.
Even on this freezing day, he's sweating.
That's it. Oh, yeah, and he says afterwards he is absolutely shattered when he gets to the end of that.
He's putting it all into it.
Yeah.
He's not leaving anything behind.
That's right. I mean, and look.
I think.
So that was great. And look, people are talking already. Yeah. There you go. You're right. Right, I think it's about time we'll go back up to our patch. Well, we can't talk here, it's too noisy. So we'll go back to where we can talk. Right, I'll go back up there. Pretty noisy here. Well, we've got some flat earthers up the top. Maybe one day we'll have crowds like this. I mean, we kind of need quietness to talk, you know, like for what we want to talk about, and it's far too noisy back down there. The only problem is that no one wants to kind of come up here. Everybody's all down there, aren't they? Which is a shame. But we'd all need to be shouting like Dave there, you know. Right. Yeah, right, buddy. All right.
Megaliths, yeah, on the throne. Yeah, they've been moved from 1,000 miles, they say, whatnot. They're just out there, yeah, just two megaliths, ginormous. Ginormous, yeah. And it's weird because I've been there and I've seen them, yeah. And I looked at it, I was like, fuck. That's the same thing. What was the fucking pyramid? That's what was on in the image, what I've seen in the illustration. In the illustration, it's got that, I don't know what queen or king on the front. It's on top of the pyramid in the illustration from 1900.
You should photograph it and put it up on the net.
I will photograph it. I'll put it up.
Get the information out.
Yeah, I mean, I done something a long time ago where the Mars rover, I was like, this looks suspect, you know, when you see the craft.
Anything in space. The landscape is like part of Arizona or something like that.
Yeah, I know. But even before people was even dealing with that, I said, let me just take it into Photoshop because I know how to deal with it.
This guy's a graphics engineer, so it really is.
Right.
So what I did, yeah, I looked for photos of the same Mars rover on Earth in the laboratory so I can get the correct colours, yeah, for the aluminium. So, you know, black will be black, this silver will be the silver. So I can colour match the silver and it will colour correct the colour of what the Mars rover will be.
And around it.
Right.
So when I did it, the sky was blue, all the red went, land was brown, and there was all bits of green foliage.
Suggesting that they were in Greenland.
They were somewhere, but it's simple tools like that. When you have people, you know, there's like technology like with the 24-hour time lapse, and there's no cloud movement.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you can realise it's absolute rubbish.
It's synthesized nature. One thing you know, if you do 3D, synthesized nature is the hardest thing to do because the problem is it looks too perfect. And the greatest thing, if you believe the creator, the creator ever done, perfection was basically imperfection. The more imperfect it looked, the more perfect it was. Because that is so hard to replicate, to make something look not perfectly made or synthetically made, to make it natural, organic. All the time you get
pristine and
all the time you get to a pattern.
the same height, imperfection is tough. So how come the gravity ain't stopping
We say,
that?
oh, there's chaos and there's chaos theory and stuff.
It's density and buoyancy. There's the
Really and truly, the way it's organised.
Okay, just leave that there.
density and buoyancy.
Okay.
They're organised. No chaos.
Oh, sorry, I've given you an old one. That's the newer, updated one. That's the one. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
We're all moving at random and it could look chaos from a perspective, but there's some order to it. Yeah,
he didn't
But-
hit anyone. So.
we're not bumping into each other, you know. With everything we adapt and find a way, but there's an order to it.
Yeah, there's millions.
There's some kind of either pattern or rule which we all kind of apply to. So therefore, there's no chaos. No one can create chaos.
You're almost making it sound like we live in some kind of computer simulation or something.
We are.
In some kind of way.
We're very sophisticated computers. But the thing is, you cannot create this natural environment without using natural things. If you try and use our natural thing, it will never look natural. And that's the thing of it. And so this is how you can kind of break down these things. You look at it and go, that's too perfect, this is missing, that's missing, because you know what nature really, how nature really is, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that. And all this, when we talk about this earth and, oh, the stars, we've got the parallax, you put a camera down on a thing and it does a bloody circular motion with a time trail. You know, we use technology to break all these ideologies.
You know, a lot of flat earthers, they can't get their head around how it actually works. The sun and moon, maybe it's beyond our understanding.
Maybe
it's the divine creator is beyond our understanding. We can't understand it because it's beyond our understanding.
We can't. I'd say we can't totally understand it, but simple understanding, I would think it's like kind of like yin and yang, and in a spiral dance.
Yes. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, whether it spirals upwards as well, that's another. Because we've got to look at other dimensional movement. Yeah.
There you go. Check the leaflet there.
Okay. But I never. Something, I don't know what brought it to me, but the spiral came into it somehow, and I can see that throughout history, the spiral has been very important.
And it's always been there, hasn't it? It's always been around.
It's always been there. And the yin and yang is the sun and the moon. It's been known from a long time, and we can relate it to the map. So how it moves in to make the days shorter and the days longer as well, you know, through the seasons. That's how you probably get the seasons going up and down as well.
It must go up and down because now obviously like it's coming into winter now.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, we've had a fantastic summer, you know, but now it's getting colder. Is the sort of like the actual sun moving upwards? The apparent sun is affecting the apparent sun is moving upwards, so it's not so intense. I know it's all speculation.
Same with the winds. When you start looking at the winds on flat Earth, it starts to make sense because they're just going around in
That's right.
motion.
Yeah.
Whereas on the ball,
And the
you're
oceans.
doing some funky sort of what? You're doing some funky thing. What's that about? Does that make sense?
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, this is very much real.
We're globe deniers. We don't know quite where we live. We know it's not a spinning ball going through the universe. We think we live on some kind of flat plane. No one knows the full dimensions. We don't know how far it goes. The first thing people say, like you're new to it, they turn around and say, well, how comes you don't fall off the edge? How do we know there is an edge?
That comes, yeah.
I think you need one of them.
Your assumption that I'm a complete neophyte to this is I actually have. Are you guys in any way, because I can think of so many common sense reasons.
Do one.
Like that.
Go ahead.
Can you get us on?
I mean, are you, is this sort of is this now a call? What I mean is this.
Just common
It's very
sense.
important because we've been
Common
lied to.
sense.
Right, here's what I mean. I think all of this is about looking at ourselves first.
Yes.
Realising
Oh dear, we're going to go into psychology again.
Is this a thing where if you suddenly discover you're wrong, your world's going to fall?
It's almost like trolling, isn't it?
No,
We
world
fell
we got
apart
parts
when
of
we
it. got
left
parts.
it.
We don't know all of it. What we don't know is we don't live on a spinning ball. Water can't conform to a shape. Well, how comes we can say
you intuitively feel it, and so do I.
Intuitively feel what?
you can see it spinning.
intuitively feel this is flat. I totally agree.
Oh,
Okay.
right, okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't look at this and go.
All right. Beyond your intuition, looking at physical behaviour of like water, how it behaves, it tends to
Always find its level. It can't conform to a shape, can it?
I need to find a truth which connects all of these truths into one thing without a contradiction.
You need to. Just arrived, but he needs to. So basically, it's Speaker's Corner troll.
I want a consistent truth.
That's what we got here.
I know my intuition, of course, but I do reach a point when I look at this world where time and time again I realise, oh, my intuition was wrong. Time and time again I see.
This is what you call a shilling.
The limitations of my own, the only possibility of me being a self-fulfilling habit. Until I factor that into the equation, I'm going to be stuck. And I don't think you guys are doing that. So
Really? Well, that,
No.
you're assuming that without knowing any of us.
saying I know, and you're making assumptions.
Oh, well, I haven't said nothing. I haven't said anything. Look, see on the back of there?
I would say just look at things objectively.
Yeah.
Okay?
On the back of there?
I think remove yourself and your personal intuition
Bias
out of it. Remove our personal intuition out of it and look at the physical realities, external realities and the behaviours of that. I mean, for instance, are we upside down right now?
No, it's a false question. Your idea.
I'm just asking you.
No, I know, but it's a false question.
Okay,
it's
go
like
ahead.
Going, which is better, orange or green?
I'm just asking you, though, are we?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
It's a false
No, yeah, forget about the false question. Answer him.
No, because it's
Okay.
like
Okay.
me saying, which
That's the problem, it's trolling.
it's like me
Speaker's
saying
Corner
which
trolling.
orange or yellow.
This is what we get, and it's so annoying. You can't have a conversation without.
I'm being objective. I'm giving you an example of
It's terrible. It is.
I understand that's a very
No, buddy, you shouldn't leave it there. There you go. If you got any questions, I'm around here. Oh, well done, Barry. Barry's getting stuck in there. I can't be dealing with trolling. Well done, Barry. Excuse me, was you saying?
He said you get a run for your money if you didn't perform in this.
Really? I can't stand Speaker's Corner trolling. I've got more important things to do. These are silly. And alright, guys. Yeah, you got a good Speaker's Corner troll over there in the corner, and you know.
We're looking for more food.
Yeah.
We want more food. They're not telling us enough. Yeah, they said they just discovered another black hole. But they can say, you know, all these things, we haven't got enough through.
As in, it's a theory.
It's a theory.
And yeah, it's kind of strange because like black holes, wormholes and all of this. I kind of grew up on the Star Trek, you know, think it's fantastic and that. But when you start looking into this and you think, this is all theories and not one shred of proof whatsoever, other than a couple of guys getting together going, oh yeah, this is what I think. Oh yeah, I agree with you. Oh, let's add something else to the argument. It's just theories, and we're asking for proof. We're calling them out and saying, look, if you're going to make these huge claims, we want proof.
The claim is a car of Musk.
Yeah.
The pressure would be enormous. And the temperature.
So we're talking about the pressure differential. So what we're talking about, like here now, we're in an atmosphere up in space, meant to be the largest vacuum known to man, okay? But a submarine down below has got a less of a pressure differential between the inside of a submarine and outside, the pressures all on top. But out there in space, it's meant to be like, I don't know, 100 times worse than that. And like you just heard that they had this hole in space, you know, in the International Space Station. It should have exploded the entire space station. The whole lot would have just... Okay, so we're kind of calling them out on so many different levels. We see the International Space Station with green screens. We see harnesses, people floating about. This is kind of like one of the pictures, which is kind of, oh, it's all the way over there it is. So but I mean, like, we're calling them out on a lot of evidence. I take it you guys, I'm only assuming, would you believe in the moon landings? So you're open-minded to, don't know, well done, because that's where people should come at, should they not? You know, be open-minded, don't bring any biases in with it, and then challenge it and critically think. Now, when you're young, you're not taught to critically think. You're kind of presenting this globe at the age of 5 years of age, and then you say that's where you live. And up until right now, you walk through this park, seeing those crazy guys for the first time. Did you ever critically examine that? Do you live on a 1,000 miles an hour spinning ball with water clinging to it? Did you ever ask that question? No, because I'm 48 and a half now, but like 47 years of age, and I never asked that question once, because it's a given. Why would you ask? It is just a pure given that, of course, we live on a globe. I've seen it from space. We must be on a globe. But then there's this guy here. That's Robert Simmons. Okay, he's a data visualizer, and what he does, he takes aerographical pictures, photographs, they're called composites, joins them all together, puts them on a 3D sphere, stitches them all around, adds layering and things. I say he works for NASA and probably teams like him. You know, he's in a radio interview and he speaks about it. We've never seen a photograph of Earth. And again, we're asking for this information. I mean, like, it's like, what was it, like 50, 60 years since we've, went to the moon? We've never been back. We've got a lot of flat earthers now here that we kind of know that we live on a flat plane, and there's a reason being that. It's not just that we don't believe in all the photographs no more. We see land, that you're not meant to see. Now, we didn't know the maths about this land, and you're like, okay, so what? So we can see land 65 miles away, so what? Well, it's only because we didn't know what the maths was, you know, like I never critically thought, like we were saying. So what it's meant to be is like spherical trigonometry based on Pythagorean's theorem. Never even heard of it. It was like, so 47 years of old, never heard of it. So what it means is for every mile, there should be an 8-inch per square mile, per square drop. Okay, so it goes 8 inches, 32 inches, 72 inches, and just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So this was in the Blackpool Gazette at 65 miles away on Blackpool Promenade. You can look out to sea, and you can see on a good clear day the Isle of Man. 2,500 feet should be hidden, but yeah, 2,000 feet is the highest mountain. But we can see it, it's there. This is Dover to Calais. I mean, you may have seen this yourselves on a good clear day. You can see the White Cliffs of Dover. You're not meant to. You live on a ball. So there has to be that, that calculation, that curvature calculation. Pythagorean's theorem. It says at 24 miles, there should be 300 feet missing. Now, admittedly, the White Cliffs of Dover are, the highest peak is 350 feet. So you should, maybe on one or two peaks, you should see a few peaks. But you can see it all in its entirety, the White Cliffs of Dover. You're not meant to see it. There's something wrong with your eyes if you're seeing it. You know, you can see, you're seeing through the sea, but you can see it. Lighthouses are not meant to work, you know, like submarines as well. When they lift their periscope, they shouldn't be able to see that far because of the curvature. Now, I didn't know that you should always be able to see this curvature, but this one here, it's 273 miles away, and over three. I've got the maths wrong. It's actually about 6 miles, but we'll forget about that. It's 3 miles there, because we're asking and challenging people to, if you're happy with this chart, you know, you'll need your magnifying glass because it's quite thin. But if you're happy with the chart, then start critically discovering these lands yourself. They're happy with it. We were there a few days ago. We're doing this tour going around the UK. We're just spreading awareness, and we're not asking for anyone. And you could not possibly believe the crazy man in the park. I accept that. But what you could do, there's a website in there. You could check out some videos. There's a great video. The funny thing happened on the way to the moon. And if you kind of watch that, there's a good chance that, yeah, you won't believe in the moon landings after that. You know, so we're asking people to just watch a few videos, make their own minds up. I know it all comes across a little bit, bloody hell, he's loony, but if you be honest with yourself, bring no biases in with it. You've already said you're open-minded. I kind of get that because you're still here talking to me. You didn't run off and say, God, he's crazy. Yeah.
200 proofs.
200 Proofs, Earth is Not a Spinning Ball by Eric Debay is an awesome video to watch, and within the first half hour that I watched it, I turned it off and said, no, nonsense, this can't possibly be true. It has to be wrong. I say I've only been a flat earth about an hour and a half, I was going to say a year and a half. And, you know, but after watching that, I was up all night looking at my ceiling, and my head was just whizzing, you know, like, and then in the morning I watched the rest of the film and thought, my God, this makes so much sense. But I still couldn't believe it. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, cognitive dissonance. If you've ever, it's on your leaflet there, but it spoke volumes to me that, you know, that I was struggling with. And for 4.5 months, I researched and researched and researched, and the more that I researched, the more I was so positive that we live on a flat plane stationary, because when you find out that NASA is only there to deceive us, once you figure that out and you see all the anomalies, and then you see, I mean, like they've got videos of astronauts going around the corner, and they go transparent, the astronauts, as they're going around the corner. You can see them go transparent. You can look right through them quite a few times, where, you know, where they get the CGI and the green screen technology wrong. So there's so many anomalies with the International Space Station. They can't possibly be in space. Again, a lot of flat earthers were starting to learn about the science of things like propulsion in space. I don't know if you're aware that you cannot have propulsion in space. There has to be Newton's third law. For every action, there has to be an opposite and equal reaction. So everything needs to push against something when you're traveling. You know, like, so a rocket, as it's going up in the air, it would push against our atmosphere. But when it gets into space, there's nothing to push against. You know, like, so you've got like satellites up there, and you've got I don't know, people on jetpacks, and they go away in every different direction, but there has to be an opposite reaction to push against something. So propulsion just couldn't possibly work in space. You know, there's a thing called the Joule's experiment and free expansion, and this is meant to be like scientific, peer-reviewed evidence that propulsion cannot possibly work in space. So have I given you anything to say that yes, I'm definitely going to investigate? Yeah, excellent. That's all we can ask for, because we know that we'll never change anyone's mind in 10 minutes of talking to them. Well done, Barry. Nice to talk to you. Cheers. Well done, Barry. You got them on the hook there. That was Barry. Barry did well there. Yes. Yeah, well done. Yeah. Excellent. I like that. Well done, Barry. Ah, he's a trooper, he is. So he's come all the way from Wolverhampton, and Barry's spreading awareness.
How can a boat be like that? It's like, I've really sort of like put the swig in your brain, haven't I?
Can you grab that one?
Yeah.
There you go.
And do you know something? This guy's actually like, he's listening to it straight away.
Yeah, it's open-minded. That's all we like.
5-10 minutes.
There you go, buddy.
No,
like that.
You look at that. You look at that. You look at the
Yeah,
waves
no,
there.
you can do. There you go. Oh yes. Yeah, it's not, is it? It's not, he says. Because we're not a planet. We're not a planet. That's all make believe. Oh, that's brainwashing programming from the media and the government. There possibly could not be any edge. It might be infinite, might carry on. Well, in space, there's meant to be infinite and ever expanding space, is there not? That's what some. No, well, okay. Well, before Einstein came along, it used to be the ether. Before Einstein, no, I don't believe there's outer space. Not in the sense that you may think, because on your belief system of brainwashing again, indoctrination. Okay. Are you here to point score, or it seems like I mean. Okay, that seems all right then, buddy. It's nice speaking to you. There's a website there for you. There you go. There you go. We'll keep away from people like that. That's what you call trolling. Yeah. Won't give them the time of the day. Yeah. If you're going to be silly, then off. Yeah, that's one of the Speaker's Corner trolls that goes around. Yeah, I've seen him a few times down that end. You know. Yeah, there was another guy who was floating as well, an older gentleman. Oh yeah, he's one of the Speaker Corner trolls. So
the glasses with the iPad.
Oh yes, without a doubt. Yeah, trolling, without a doubt. You'll see him week in, week out.
I know, he's trying, you know,
There's about 20 of them here. You know, there's tons of them, but you know, like you spot them and you just got to move on. Because what they do is that they don't want to examine the evidence. What they want to do is talk about your feelings or the psychology of it all. And
what about the Russian astronaut who dropped from this panel and dropped them through?
Yeah. See? Yeah. Yeah. You can't win arguments with them. They're just point scoring all the time. You know. So, did you grab?
It was petrified, wasn't it, that one?
That was the petrified moon rock, yes.
Now also, didn't they go to Antarctica?
Okay.
Antarctic. Was it 1908 or something?
Well, I'm not.
German.
Right. Yeah.
They
Okay.
went there to find moon rock.
Right.
And yeah, that was about the early 19th century.
I don't know that one. That's a new one on me.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, have a look at that.
I will. It was around early 1900, was it?
I'd say it is, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll have to do that one. Yeah.
Special expedition.
Yeah.
Moon rock in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Which they said, how would they know if they found moon rock or not if you've never been to
Do you see how stupid that is? I mean, does that not make perfect sense? You know.
Cool thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. I like that. That was a great. Oh, shall I click it there? Okay. So, how you getting on? Are you alright? Yeah. So the temperature's dropped drastically now, hasn't it? Yeah. I'm worried here because last time we froze the screen last time. Yeah, we're still okay. If that froze now, how would you feel? Yeah. So I kind of feel like it's just a lot of the Speaker's Corner trolls that are drifting over. You know. I'm almost thinking that I should put my camera down and just go down and get rid of all my leaflets and go around and hand out leaflets. Oh right, yeah, there's no one with them. See anyone with a... Ah, there's the owner. Yeah.
Come away, sorry.
Alright. There you go. Can I leave it there? There you go.
Are you sure there's more information?
Yeah, that's more information. Yeah. Okay. Leave it there? Oh right, okay, no problem. That's all right.
What is it?
It's all about where you live. We're seeing land that's meant to be over the curvature. Okay? Calais, Dover. Yeah. You can see Dover. Not meant to see.
Ah.
Should be over the curvature.
Okay.
Not meant to see.
C'est au-dessus. Okay.
So, there is in French. Okay, in French, 200 proofs. Earth's not spinning ball. Eric de Bay in French. Okay. French. Eric de Bay. Remember Eric de Bay in French.
Yes.
Okay, so go away. YouTube, watch Eric de Bay. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. Cheers. So hopefully you got that one. Would you like a leaflet there, sir? Oops. No. No. There you go. You can have a look. Have a read. There you go. Yeah. So it might be in French, but if you can remember the word Eric de Bay, It's the only one that I can think of that is translated in French, I think. I'm sure I've seen it in different languages. Yeah, oh, there you go. Sorry, of course you can. Oh, there you go. You're right. There you go. Oh, he wants to chat. I know. I just don't do any of the psychology side of things of what Speaker Corners is, because I know there's a group of you and you keep coming to Speaker's Corner. You're not in any group, but you don't. Sorry, I don't mean it as in you are a collective, as in. But there's quite a few. Speaker's Corners people that come down purely for like point scoring or something, and I feel as though we're not hitting the facts. We're coming here to show awareness on particular facts. And I feel like that we end up moving off on different tangents, and we should be exploring the facts and then seeing whether or not you want to go away and investigate them facts. See that? So, again. I mean, like it was that.
I'm totally aiming for the fact.
Are we? Well, it didn't sound like it. What we just heard there.
No, clearly, we disagree.
Okay.
You're going to conclude that anyone who disagrees with you hasn't got a grasp of the fact.
See that?
Well,
I wouldn't worry about that. Just look at the facts and decide that. I wouldn't worry about how I feel or what.
There's a pamphlet I'm showing you.
That's excellent. Okay. Right, that's brilliant. Excellent. That's nice meeting you. So there you go. I mean, again, just seems to be argumentative. You know, like they come down here and they just want to argue. They want to argue points and score. I've got no time for them. I'll just move on and we'll speak to other people that. Yeah, I can't be doing with the speaker corner trolls. We don't get this anywhere else. They kind of lead you on to almost like the psychology of it and want to. And I just don't know what it is, what they're after.
I sussed out a troll myself.
Oh, you found a troll. Yes, right. But they do. If you come down here next Sunday, they'll be here again. You know, so don't go to Speaker's Corner. You'll spot them, the same people, and they're just trolling other people down there. And I don't know what it's about. I mean, is it?
It's a different mentality, isn't it?
I don't know what it is. It must be a game to them or something. It's like it's kind of weird. I don't know what to call them. You know, like. It's like a sport or something, you know. Like let's just fuck with their minds.
Baiting, isn't it? Really?
Baiting, yeah. No, I can't be doing with it. Yeah. So. There you go. Can you flip that? No, that's fine. No, cool. You're right there.
In France, 273 miles. It should have been 3 miles.
Hi guys. Are you okay? You all right?
I'm just talking to this gentleman here who knows he's not on a ball list.
Yeah. I've come across you. Did I get your name before?
No, you didn't. It's Lou.
Lou. Well, let me shake your hand, Lou, because yeah, it's great to hear. I've heard you a few times and that.
Yeah, because like I was saying, I hadn't, you know, I came here once before. I literally stayed 10, 15 minutes, and I thought I talked to someone, but didn't. I said hello to Dave. Today I came here, and next thing I know, you guys have set all this up, and there was some guy looking at me, and I'm like, right, okay, let's just
let's get started. He just rolled his sleeves up and got stuck in.
Got the visual representations here. Exactly.
Yeah. Well done.
And you know what? It's really weird because up until this tour, also on YouTube, I wouldn't join the chats.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've now started joining.
Yeah.
Obviously, only on your 3 channels.
Yeah.
I think most of them are, well, except for Globe Light now.
Yeah.
But, you know, I started, and then, you know, I've started to meet some wonderful people.
Yes, like-minded.
Wonderful person, I don't know who they are, they said their name was La, so it's Lars. And I thought, what a wonderful person.
Yeah.
It's almost like the interactions you can have sometimes, like oxygen.
Yeah.
I've brief for a bit now. I've had some real conversations.
Yeah.
Not mundane things that you have to do without here.
Where have you been? Have you been isolated within Flat Earth? Have you? Or?
Very much isolated, because when I first sort of heard about it, I sort of hit the family, and it was like, guess what other stuff? You know, started going into the curvature calculator and everything.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, you're crazy.
They said stop, no.
You've got no letters after your name. You don't wear a white cloak. Who are you?
Who are you to tell us?
Well, I was like, you know, I was like, well, you know, when I was in Thailand, I was in Koh Lanta, I remember seeing these lightning strikes on this thing in the distance, and I got the camera out, and I was trying to get a picture of the lightning, and I realised they're hitting an island, blah, 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 blah. And I remember that all my life, trying to get the picture, and I never could get the picture. And of course, I thought about that, and then I looked on Google and that's looked at the distance, and I went, there's shit sitting under.
Yeah.
An observation again. You've made an observation yourself.
Exactly.
Hold on, wait a minute. I should be seeing that.
Did your own scientific experiment to it?
Exactly. I remember as a child, we went down to the Algarve in Portugal, and then over to the entrance of Spain, and then we went over to Morocco. You know, but from Spain you could see Morocco.
Yes, I've heard that 3 times today now.
So I'm like,
I've heard it twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
You know, and it's one of those things.
Yeah.
And once you start...
We've even got Richie 007, who's able to see Gran Canaria from Tenerife at sea level.
No, he's lying. He's lying. Has to be lying. And you're lying.
Below, you're a fraud.
And you're lying.
If you really think about it, they keep saying you need to go X high to see anything. And I call BS, major BS, because if it's 8 inches per mile square, thinking about it, really, if you just get up on any normal mountain, you don't need to go very high. You should start seeing.
Well,
you should start seeing something.
Hasn't Ranty Flat Earth done some experiments where he's put his camera
Yes.
down?
Yeah.
Like literally down on the ground.
Yeah.
And he's made those observations.
That's right.
And repeatedly.
Yeah. That's right.
Repeatedly made those observations.
That's right. Yeah.
You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Because when I came into it, I didn't need to rely on a video because I started going through my memories. I experienced in life, I've done here, I've done there. And it just went ting, 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 and all these light bulbs going, what's going on? Remember that. I remember being pissed off at school early on. Sorry about that.
Me too.
Disillusioned with
being
disillusioned.
Very pissed off. And it's when they
don't know why.
About,
quite right with
when they started giving me all this stuff, because I'd done physics at school. And when they told me about vacuums, I was like, so I've got it. So vacuum does, you know, you can't light like gunpowder or anything in there, and you can't do this, and you can't act, and now you're expecting to believe some guy went to the moon.
Yeah.
And it ain't happening.
Becomes contradictory, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I was doing really good at physics, and I was like, I'm not taking this as further. What am I going to do with this?
Yeah, that's right.
Dad telling me a bunch of lies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, And so for, you know, from by the time I'd left school, I didn't believe in the moon. I was already like, you know, disillusioned. So when people were showing me these photos don't make sense, I'm like,
another person.
well, the science don't make sense, so the pictures don't make sense.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, hold on a minute, there's a fucking light in the sky.
Yeah.
It's all fucking dark. What's going on?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
It's like,
Again, someone else's experience is again so similar to other people that have said, listen, my experience was that wasn't legit. That wasn't. I left school not buying into that.
I think the problem these days is people are stuck at home.
Yes.
Because really, you go down to today, what it used to be. And I've worked around here for over 11 years, and I saw how busy it was. Not just at the weekends, but during the days when it's quiet. And you walk down there now, then the people.
Yeah, they're all online. They're all doing their consuming online now because we can click at home.
Yeah.
Straight to the door.
That's right. That's
and
right.
That's the thing, people don't want to queue up anymore. They don't want to do things in queue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
All right. I think I've got one there. There you go. Leave these guys. We need more leaflets running out. Can I have a leaflet there? There you go. I'm here if any questions. I'm here. Just gonna have some more leaflets. Gotta get the leaflets out. So, have you come across this before? No? It's an odd one for people, this. So this is our display that we've done.
explain.
Yeah, we normally have it on a big stand, you know, like, but here the police tell us to get that down immediately, so it just goes on the floor.
The Met Police have taken over in the last month or so.
What, here?
Yeah, because there was a little bit of violence and stuff about a couple of months ago.
So it's not the Royal Police sort of thing?
Not really, they're probably still involved, obviously, but the Met have taken over.
Because I checked the policies out for the parks and all that, and it says that you're not allowed to have your banners or give leaflets out in all the royal parks, except Speaker's Corner has been set aside.
Ah, it says that, does it?
No, so because it says that, you would assume that I'm allowed to have my banners and give out leaflets. And then the police goes, well, I don't care what you think, you either get them banners down or you're out.
But they let you give leaflets out?
Yeah, they've not, yeah, they're okay with that. Been fine.
Yeah, I think it's probably because of the Met Police. And so people have been, last week, people have been, I don't know about this week, but last week people have been told that they couldn't wear their face coverings. Even people who weren't troublemakers
right.
were being told that.
Yeah.
You know, most of the people wearing them are troublemakers.
Yeah.
But some of them,
yeah.
who weren't troublemakers, they were told because the Met had taken over.
Do you come down quite regularly then to speak to them and all that? So what do you think when you see all of this then?
I think it's brilliant. I think everything should be challenged.
Okay.
That's how we learn and progress, isn't it?
Have you tried to challenge it yourself yet?
I have actually, yeah. I mean, just a few years back, I did try to work out, because they said that the GPS goes off in the southern hemisphere.
Well, it's kind of like when you look at...
Which would be the outer perimeter.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But and if you go onto sites like, you know, like tracker.com and see the airplanes and like that, and there are flights, it says that there's flights, you know, like, but when you start looking into that and we're on them tracking, you see it kind of leave, you know, like the coastal line. I think it gets out about 50 miles or so, and on either it disappears from tracker. Oh, I checked a few sites out myself and that, and then I wondered that as well, because when this all come about and there was guys and videos posting videos about all of this, it was only weeks and months that they started getting switched on, you know, like, because I checked it out later, and it looks as though that something's changed. Not as much, but I wondered, you know, like, is it not calculated now just for a website? Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, like, so I think what we need is, which we haven't done, we need actual people at the airport one side and actual people at the other side. You know, proper, reliable, flat Earth people that we can do this experiment ourselves and know that people are getting off these planes, that it is real, it is happening. I'm pretty sure that we're going to find out, because well, one of these this chap who did this video and that, you know, like, he turned around and everyone that he tried to buy a few flights, you know, like, to get across, and it was delayed or cancelled, and it's meant to go, oh, not South Pole, it's meant to go literally from Argentina to what was it, Santiago or something, but no flight does exist to go right over, as in over the South Pole. Doesn't exist. Completely doesn't exist. But it's not even that. What is strange is that you think about all explorers in the world, all the expeditions that have happened, 24,900 miles circumference. Lots of people have done it around the continent. Tons of people have done it. You've had airplanes and hot air balloons that have done it round and all that, but no one's ever done north to south.
Is it much
ever.
colder though to be going over the North Pole or the South Pole?
We've done so many extreme temperatures all around the world at different parts of the years and all, and that.
It would get cold anyway.
Yeah, I get that.
So
but
I wondered if the sky would be much colder in the South Pole.
yeah, maybe, but they can always do it in the South Antarctica's summer, can't they?
Right.
They could time it in such a way that they do it in Antarctica's summer.
Some of the moon, the stuff that goes on in space, some of those, I've seen some interesting videos. Quite suspicious of it, isn't it?
It really is very, very suspicious. I mean, it takes a lot, you know, like to come out of the closet, as to speak, and say, I am a flat earther. It really does take a lot. This is one of my biggest proofs. Was if you're happy of spherical trigonometry, Pythagorean's theorem, if you're happy that that's right. Now, we were in Cambridge and
let me just work that out for a second. Spherical trigonometry, you've got 3.14 and all that kind of stuff.
it's meant to be for every mile 8 inches per squared mile. You know, that should be the curvature drop should go 8 inches, 32, 72 or something like that, and it gets more and more more and more. Well, I didn't know anything about this mass, 47 years of age, and thought, well, I've never heard of such a thing. So when I was looking out the sea and I could see land in long distance, it never occurred to me to think that I shouldn't be able to see this land. But like this, that's 65 miles away, and at 2,500 feet should be hidden.
That's 65 miles away.
Yeah, from Blackpool Promenade to the Isle of Man. That was put on the Blackpool Gazette and that on a good clear day. I mean, you're not going to see that all the time, because of density and air pollution and all of that business.
I've been up on Snowdon before, and you can see quite a fair way.
Well, yeah. I mean, like the highest mountain there's Snaefell, and that's meant to be 2,000 feet. Snaefell. Snaefell. Snay.
Oh, was that on the Isle of Man?
Yeah, and that's on the Isle of Man. It's the highest peak. And it should no, it's only 2,000 feet, but the curvature, hidden curvature, should be 2,500 feet, so you shouldn't be able to see any of that. This is Dover to Calais. I mean, lots of people have been, seeing this, like where you can stand on Calais beach and all that and look out, you can see Dover, White Cliffs of Dover. You're not allowed to see that. It's meant to be 300 feet below the curvature. Not meant to see it, but you can see it. This is 273 miles away. 273. It should be 3 miles, and plus, sorry, I've got the maths wrong on that. I've shortchanged myself. It should be about 6 odd miles over the curvature, but for argument's sake, I can't change my bloody leaflet now. I'm here. You shouldn't be seeing all these lands. It should be so far over the curvature, but we can see it, and we've got so much evidence. There's a guy on YouTube called Jay Tolan, and if you look at his infrared footage, he's on an airplane. You can see over 600 miles, but with the elevation taken into account and the distance and that, there should be so many hundreds of miles over the curvature. You shouldn't be seeing any of this, but we can see it. So we're asking questions and saying, look, why can we see all these long distance lands? Should be able to see any of this land, and that should be anyone's starting point, is that maths. Are you happy that maths is correct? And I say we were in Oxford and Cambridge, and they all seem to be fine with it.
Even if it was flat, miles, it would look circular, because as you're turning,
if you're out at sea, you're quite right. You see a circle, don't you? Like at sea. Yeah, and then I think.
If you're on a dome or if you're on a flat piece of land, until it disappears out, beyond the horizon.
Yeah.
It would look. It's just pretty similar, really. So I'm open-minded to that.
Yeah. Well, when you start looking into this, and then you look into the moon landings. I don't know if you've ever seen the film. What's that funny thing happens on the way to the moon?
No.
Oh, it's a cracking one. I've just given you a leaflet, haven't I? Right. Well, in that there's a website there, FE Start, and it's got a load of YouTube clips there.
They're not going to come after if I go on your website.
No, I don't care. But yeah, what I'm saying is that you go on there and watch that film, and you'll come away and go, bloody right, they did not go to the moon. It's $100 question. I mean, unless we take someone, point out who it is, find out who it is, take him to court, make him accountable. How we would never know why until that day. We can have ideas. And one of my ideas is that there could be hiding further land. That's how I feel, because I don't know if you heard of the Admiral E. Byrd scenario, where he took to Antarctica 4,000 troops, went to Antarctica. They took an aeroplane down there. He flew out. When he got to the South Pole, he says beyond the South Pole he found further land as big as America itself. Further land. Okay, are you going? Yeah, well, you're not going until I have a cuddle.
Not big man. Listen, I've done my little bit today, haven't I?
You certainly have. You've done brilliantly. Yeah. So Admiral E. Byrd, and that interview. It was a TV interview. It's on that.
Is this live or is this going?
This is live. I've only got about 40 people watching. What it is.
Will I be able to watch it back on YouTube?
Of course you can. Okay. And there's a link on there as well. Jason of the Disbury family. You see a link.
That's why I've got your hair out of place.
No, does he look all right, lads? He's very open-minded, so.
Yeah, I'm open-minded. Not stupidly open-minded, but work out the points, isn't it?
That's it. I mean, I always say I hope I've given enough points. Just so, is that worth looking at a website? And I think it is. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I did actually try to count because I thought if you're going from between, say, South America to like South Africa, you know, or even to Australia, you know, the time, if it was a flat Earth, the time distance would be much bigger. Going through now, how long is the flight between South Africa and to Australia?
Well, pass. But let me. If you come with me here, there is a. It's a bit slippery.
Yeah.
These are the sort of flights that they're taking.
Yeah, all right.
So when you go to like Sydney, and then they kind of go all the way up.
You're joking.
And then they come all the way back down.
Right? Yeah,
yes, that is right.
They don't just go.
They don't go across, and it's like that seems so odd.
That is
but when you put it on a flat Earth model, now we don't say that this is our exact model because we just don't know. We use it as examples and that, but it kind of makes perfect sense. It's a straight line. Of course they're going to go.
I've seen that before, actually. Very interesting. You're right.
So yeah, I mean, there's also the woman who had a baby halfway through and there was complications.
Yes.
They were going from I think it was Taiwan or something.
Yeah, I heard this,
they were going off to Los Angeles, and when they went off to Los Angeles, there was complications. They could have set down in Hawaii, but they didn't. Right. They flew all the way up to Alaska, which was so out of the way. Right. You know, like why didn't they just carry on to Los Angeles? But on the flat Earth map, it made complete sense why they went to Alaska, because
these people are all Freemasons or something, aren't they? What's going on?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like, you have to go back on how did education and science all arrive, and a lot of it is from the church and Jesuits and Freemasons and that. If you go back, as I think it was Copernicus or something, you know, like it kind of starts off with him, I think. And it's all Freemasonry, you know, like so.
You've encouraged me to re-examine
and look into it a bit further. Good. I'm glad it is. There's so many anomalies from high temperatures in space. I mean, like they're not. We're not throwing numbers up here. Science.com says that in the thermosphere it gets up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. I didn't understand that because I always knew space was cold. That's the way I was taught.
You think it could be that hot?
Well, there's a thing called radiative heat. Now, if you think about it, the sun gives off radiative heat. You know, like it's not direct heat because there's no air molecules in space. There's radiative heat. But when this radiative heat comes on contact with something like a satellite in space, like an international space station in space, then it just heats up and heats up and heats up. But there's no air molecules to take this heat away. So things melt at 660, 1,670. There's things that melt at these temperatures.
Yeah, because there are three ways that heat can move, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, that's right. What was it? It was convection. The radiative. Nice talking to you. Cheers, buddy. You've seen some of that.
I was watching you.
Yeah, good. Are you a regular down here, are you?
I used to be, but
yeah.
I tried to stay away, you know,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I got a channel and all that, but I just kind of calm.
I'm going to see you next week or anything.
No, we're doing a UK tour, and yeah, that's right. It'll be. Cheers, buddy. Keep an eye out. Yeah, so we're doing this UK tour. We've done, I think it's like 42 places, cities around the UK. We went to, Ireland, to Scotland to come about. We're off to Wales tomorrow, Newport and Swansea tomorrow. Yeah, and then we finish next Saturday. We're back in London next Saturday.
And when you're saying you're doing a tour, obviously you come here, you have to come in. Are these places that you have to...
We just go straight in the town centre, the busiest high street we can find, and then but normally this is on a big banner, big frame, you know, like, and then we talk to people there.
Have you found any resistance or any opposition or anything?
You know, like we're having a discussion now.
Yes.
Okay, I'd say 95% this is what we get. We get that's why we move out the way from the crowd down there, because we need to be heard, and we have, you know, because what I'm saying is that it shouldn't be argumentative what I'm saying. I'm just telling you, you know, but we got a little bit of loudmouth, angry people. We get a little bit. That's quite really triggered and
but do you
upset.
Get any like officious kind of people coming over saying, "How dare you reveal the truth?" What's going on?
As I say, I would say probably about 1%.
Right.
Yeah, about 1%.
Right.
So, wow, it's getting dark here now. I think we'll be wrapping it up. It's nice talking to you. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I do. We will be back to Speaker's Corner, and some of the other people, they'll be coming regular.
Yeah. I've seen you before. I'm not sure where I've seen you. Might be here,
Yeah, maybe. Look into it more. Really examine it. Cheers, buddy. Well, that was a nice chat. There you go. Wow, it's getting dark. As you can see, it's getting dark here. Yeah, I agree. Freemasons are not the pinnacle of this. I agree with that. You know, there's so much more going on. I think I've got a lot of learning to do as well. I mean, I'm a year and a half in, and I'm learning. I'm growing. You know, God, it's so bloody big. All this bloody deception. It's huge. I'm gonna start wrapping it up.
Yeah, no worries.
It seems like it's. What do you reckon, Ruben? Start wrapping all this up, do you reckon? It's got to be time. It's getting cold. Been on a while. Is Harry there? Can you see him? Oh, he's there. Harry's there. Right, guys. It's getting a bit loud and noisy down that end, but we're going to start wrapping this up. It's very much. It's been really good for you guys to share this with me. But as you can see, yeah, I think we're going to see Tapper tomorrow, are we? You're coming out to visit us in Swansea, are you, Tapper? Well, it's just hand out of. Check a leaflet there.
Oh no, thank you.
No, that's okay. Right, it's getting late. I'm gonna start wrapping this up, and I imagine that you'll see us on the hangout this evening, but when we leave here we're going to be on the road making our way to. You're off? Well, yeah, forget about that.
See you at the meet-up next Saturday then.
Oh, you're coming, are you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Roxanne's not sure
no,
it's going to be.
That's right. We've got two venues in mind. We thought one of them was all was it booked, sealed and delivered and all that, and then because of the schools kind of having children week off things, half term is it? Yeah. And yeah, so they've done that, and of course we've been waiting for teachers to get back to us. Yeah. But that's ideally where we'd like to be, you know, in a school to, you know, stick it to them. Yeah. All right, then, mate. Cheers, buddy. Nice speaking to you. Right, okay. That's right, guys. Thank you very much. I'm sure there'll be some sort of hangout tonight, or if we can't make it, there'll be. Oh, Roxanne will be doing a hangout, and we'll explain to everyone where we're going to be tomorrow. Right, nighty night. Catch you later. Well, just say goodbye to this guy as well. Hang on, I'll just end that one and then.